This is Yvonne Simrel, and you're watching The Greater Experience.
We are back and we are excited about what the Lord is doing. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. I don't have a lot to say, but before I get started, Deacon Grant is such an amazing broadcast person that is helping us with our team. And I have a special presentation for him because in the midst of all that he does, I want him to know he's appreciated. And I just need you to open up that gift on the air because I just want to welcome you to a team that you have long been waiting for. And so I want to say to you a happy early Father's Day because you are an amazing man. You're an amazing production staff and you always do great things. So happy Father's Day early because we like to celebrate. We can't see it. Can y'all see it? Welcome to Team iPhone. Push it a little bit further.
What?
Yes. Welcome to Team iPhone from the Greater New Hope Baptist Church. We just want you to know we appreciate you, man. And listen, that phone comes with Apple Care too. So any problems you have, call me.
Welcome to the team.
Oh yes. That was good. Oh
yeah.
man.
Well deserved, man. Hey, I told your wife, go back home. I need Deke to get this today. Have it before Father's Day.
Oh man, that is so funny. So no, you guys know I love my joy now. You know what I'm saying?
Know.
I enjoy.
Listen,
but
got you there.
But yeah, so I gotta go iPhone. Hey, look, thanks a lot, Pastor. I appreciate this. I really do. It means a lot. Thanks so much. Thank you.
No problem, man. Love you.
Love you too.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Quarantine. Something up because the devil is loose today.
Yeah.
The spirit that have been let loose.
I'm into the iPhone club now. Okay.
So listen, we need y'all to like and share this post. We just blessed Deacon Grant with an iPhone 11. His phone is more upgraded than mine.
Whoa!
Here from the Greater New Hope Baptist Church family, because since March he has been working actively with our virtual ministry and a part of our creative team, a part of our production team, and he has just been an invaluable asset to our church. And we just wanted to take the time to say thank you, happy Father's Day, and it was like it came early, so I didn't want to wait till next week because then. This week we could be iMessaging each other.
Wow. And you gotta teach me how to use it. So
gotcha. It's gonna be easy.
Well, I'm gonna miss my joy.
Bye.
Oh man. That's amazing.
Donate that to somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. So
we just have a short broadcast for you today. We are excited about what God is doing. So I'm gonna let Deacon Grant take us. I believe we have worship.
Okay.
And then we wanted to have a conversation about the importance of fatherhood and just help you that are watching to celebrate those men in your life. So we have worship, and then we'll come back with a discussion.
Lord, we bless your name. And we lift our voices to say thank you. And it's for your goodness and your mercy towards us. Said it's for your goodness and your mercy towards us. Said it's for your goodness and your mercy towards us. We are praise. Oh yes, we offer praise. Oh Lord, we give you praise. And oh Lord, we bless your name. And we lift our voices just to say thank you. And it's for your goodness, Jesus, and your mercy towards us. Said it's for your goodness, Jesus, and your mercy towards us. Said it's for your goodness. Has he been good to anybody? And your mercy towards us. We why are we offering them praise today? Because you are worthy. Yes, you are, Jesus. Oh, glory, even now, and the honor. And you are worthy of the praise. And it's for your goodness, Jesus, hey, and your mercy towards us. And it's for your goodness and your mercy towards us. And it's for your goodness and your mercy towards us. We know. Come on and help me say, we offer it because He's so He's worthy of glory and the honor, and He's worthy of the praise. Hey, it's for you. He's been so good to us. Yes, He has. And your mercy, it's for your goodness, Jesus. Oh, your goodness, Lord, and your mercy. Yeah. Has He been good to anybody? Can you agree with me and say it? It's so good. Oh, yeah. and it's for
Mom's been raised by their own mom, and the mom taught them a lot, and so they're like, oh, we don't need a man in the house, so I'm really not looking forward to your dad showing up anytime. But me personally, I ain't gonna say I didn't have my dad in my life, really, but me growing up 3 to 4 to 5, I really didn't have my dad in my life. It was just me and my mom in our own apartment, and we made it through. But I don't really think females or women don't need a man in the house.
Why you ask me that too?
I gotta answer
Hey, that's a good one.
In my situation, yes, because like you can't go to your mom about every little thing, and like having like a second opinion is like better in most ways, and like with a dad being there, just like that daughter and dad connection is like needed for girls like me. You know, like I need like a father.
Which one you gonna answer?
Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of both. So I feel like, I think it's gonna be more towards the second one, but I feel like it's important to have a dad in the house when it comes to raising kids. Like I feel like everybody said, you don't have to have a man. You don't have to be in a relationship, because a lot of times relationships don't work out. So people find ways to make stuff work. But I do feel like it is important, like if the parents aren't gonna be together, I do feel like it's important for both parents to stay active in their child's life, because it is very important for people to have both parents, but especially like a father figure, because in most cases, even though it's not for everybody, in most cases it's always the mom with her kids, not the dad with their kids. And I feel like that's kind of a problem, because a lot of people need that male structure or whatever. And me personally, I feel like girls, when it comes to dating and stuff like that, it's like you should be able to come to your dad and be like, well, this happened, I need help, can you help me with this? You know, dads are guys, so they know they know the game more than we do, so they can like help us, and they can actually like prepare us and teach us, oh, stay away from that, you don't want no parts in this. And sometimes just, I think having a dad, I think a lot of times girls look for love in the guy, and if they can't get it from their dad, they go and get it from anywhere else, and sometimes anywhere else isn't the best place. So if you have that strong connection with your dad, it's like, oh, my dad don't treat me like this, so I don't need to be with a man like this. Period. So I feel like it's really, really important, and not just to have a father figure in your life, but the right father figure. Because if your dad is talking to you like you're trash, you'll go out in the world and think, oh, well, he talks to me like my dad, so I'm good. But that's not the case. So,
That's how a lot of kids become brainwashed and think their dad is this, that, and the third, when really it'd be opposite. Their mom is just sometimes too bitter.
Yeah. We don't even know the story.
Yeah, and I think that makes moms look bad too.
Yes.
Like, at the end of the day, that man is still the father of your child. At the end, they still got the same blood, DNA. So why, if you speak down on the dad, you're speaking down on the child at the end of the day.
You're speaking down on yourself.
Yeah, because at some point in time, the daddy was
That's why I want to say females wait till something happens to be like, he ain't this, he ain't that, but he was this and that.
Everything you wanted.
But I feel like out of out of respect, you shouldn't.
You
like,
loved it.
I pushed you all days out mine.
Okay, you
But no,
right.
out of respect, I just feel like it's not okay for male or female to like down talk the other parent, especially not in front of their kids. Because I can be mad at you, but we got a child together, and that child is mine. So I'm gonna have to put up with you regardless, because we got a mutual thing here, and this mutual thing just so happens to be our child. It's not like it's a mutual friend, and I think that's really serious.
He's grown enough to lay down with you. He's grown enough to parent and get along.
I feel like a child, when it's so young, it affects you and it takes you sometimes down the wrong path, because then when you have something missing in your life, you look for something to fill that void, whether it's a person, objects, items, and it's never always the good side of it. Because if you're missing your dad, for example, if you're missing your dad and you're a female, when you grow up, you're going to look for your dad in guys, or you're going to look for somebody to love you, but they couldn't be the person that's for you. And you could end up being emotionally and spiritually hurt by them, but you just keep looking for love and keep looking for somebody to care about you. So I feel like as a child, it scars you and it messes with you mentally, so you don't always know how to handle things in the future. And when it's time to face reality and actually grow up, you don't always know how to handle those situations. And sometimes you're confused on what to do because you're not prepared, because you're missing this person or you're missing that person. So
can I say?
I feel like it scars you.
Let me say
it's depressing, especially because the media, like I keep saying, the media makes it seem like you're supposed to have both parents, and a lot of the times, some cases, it's always the black people. In movies and stuff, it's always the black mama raising the black kids. And then over here down the street, we got the White House, and they mama and daddy and the whole family just happy and they're loving. So for growing up, it's like, we want this, but we got this. And so it can be depressing, and then you go to school and you're talking. My friends got both of their parents in the house.
Well, it can affect their like people are. So like, if somebody knows that you don't have your dad in your life or your mom in your life, and they don't like you, they might bring that up into like trying to bully you into it, and that makes you think, well, yeah, they're right. I don't have my dad in my life. That makes you get into this depressed state, and it makes you want to just act out, like they said. So, like, yeah, it has a big impact on your life when your parents separate. They'll probably think you don't have nothing to do with you, but that's a lot.
Yeah. Even when you're young, it still affects you.
It brings your self-esteem down.
Right.
Like, I'm finna go home, I'm finna have a fun time with my dad. I'm like, well,
okay, yeah.
And then I think with us, we're taught to, not really, but in a way, yeah, we are, as kids, we're told, or, you know, it's okay to not talk, hold your feelings in, because as soon as you say how you feel, you're disrespectful. So I feel like we're so used to holding our feelings in, and so battling with holding that in, and then battling with the thought or the idea of not having both parents in. And then school and everything else that life comes with when you're young is just like a lot. And yeah, I'm pretty sure parents feel like this is going to have like an effect on my kids, but I don't think they know like or feel the big effects that we feel, because yeah, they do their grown up stuff, like go to work and stuff, but they're older and they're experienced, and so like when people talk, they can like just brush it off, but coming up, we don't know how words hurt.
Yeah.
So I just feel like with everything that kids deal with, it really tears you down.
And we are back, and you just heard a round table, a green table of our young people at Greater New Hope Baptist Church, just talking about fathers and father figures and the father roles. And we felt for the next 3 weeks we would want to have a brief discussion and take a deep dive into the conversation about fathers and have a focus on fathers series. Many times young people have absent fathers, or sometimes it is viewed as the lack of support of fathers. But we at Greater New Hope value fatherhood, and we value the role that men play in the lives of their children. And really, they are the seed of the future. They are the seed of Black boys and Black girls. And many times Father's Day is under commercialized, and many times fathers are underappreciated and not celebrated in a way that is really conducive for the things that they do that many times go unnoticed. So we wanted to take a deeper dive into that. And I have Pastor Jermaine Freeman with me, and I have Deacon Cardo Grant. And we have these conversations all the time. And we felt like we wanted to bring that conversation to you by way of a message. And let me say this, and then I'm going to throw the microphone to them, that Abraham had such an intense relationship with God, his father, that he is willing to trust God through the message to sacrifice his son, And when he follows the voice of the Lord, God, his father, shows to be there as a trustworthy friend, a trustworthy leader. And then we also see that Isaac trusts his father Abraham, even in the midst of an unideal situation. So I want to ask Pastor Freeman, and I want to talk to Deacon Grant today about why do you feel it's important to focus on fathers? So I'll go to Deacon Grant and then to Pastor Freeman.
And speaking of fathers, I want to say a happy Father's Day to the men in this panel, and to also say that all the men who are out being dads, working to be dads, who doing a good job. Keep it up, because we need you. We need you to stay focused. We need you to do a good job. Pastor, I'm struggling to answer that question. As you saw, we had a green table conversation with kids, and I still don't believe I completely understand. That, because society has its own demands on us, and of course, culturally, there's demands, and you could say biblically, there's also demands on dad. So, it seems to me as if it's where you are in life, if that answers the question.
Pastor Freeman, why should we focus on fathers?
I believe that it's vitally important, for the foundation of not just the family, but the world, right? I mean, when we look at a lot of the issues and problems that we see, even statistics show that households that have a father, or where the father is present in the lives of their children, different things, different issues that we see that are affecting the world, those things have come down drastically, so like teenage pregnancy, abortions, you know what I mean? Education, right? Those that normally have a father in their lives normally have a higher degree of finishing higher levels of education. And so we see that it's very vital that the father plays a major role in the lives of his children. And I believe that's not just something by happenstance. I believe that that's something that God ordained even from the beginning of time. I believe he ordained for men to be a part of their children's lives and to show that importance. A lot of times we don't focus on it, and it's taken for granted in so many ways what a father does. But I believe it's very, very impactful. And like Deacon Grant was saying, it's something that's it's vast, right? The the issue of the impact that a father has is very vast. There's so many different areas that fathers impact, and we never really realize it until years later, or what have you. And so I believe it's definitely vitally important to the lives of our children and youth and the family in general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
we've had some intense. Just go ahead.
yeah, and if I could just say again to further make my point about what I said earlier is that um, we have seen in society the ones who claim to know are the informed ones, so the rulers of us, right? The lawmakers, um, continuously tell us that, you know, maybe men don't matter. So, you know, what I was trying to say earlier was that the conflict, I'm conflicted with, you know, biblically the role of a man, right? What God ordains us to do, and then the rulers of us, those who make laws, what they're saying our roles is, and then of course in a relationship, right? The
Right.
what our spouse demands from us, and research also suggests that um, it depends on your wife's upbringing, also how she sees you as a dad, your role as a dad. If she doesn't have a father in her life, she might feel as though you're married in the same house, that you have an insignificant role, right? So, like, I was raised without my dad, so I don't need you, kind of thing. You're just a donor, right? So it's hard when you sit back and you watch society, the different aspects of it. To me, it's where I'm hoping that in the next few weeks we could find some common ground.
I think it's important to have this conversation. If somebody might be watching, this is not church. This is absolutely church. We need our spirituality to meet our carnality so that we can function in a society and within family structures that God has placed us in. And it's so important to focus on fathers and that we do this father focus series because many times fathers go unappreciated and the narrative becomes the deadbeat dad. The narrative becomes the father who was not present. And it really diminishes the potency of a father that is present, whether they are in relationship or not with the mother, whether they're in the home or not, as long as they're present. And we just want to take the opportunity to celebrate fathers, father figures, and those men who are in the lives of young people, because as we saw with our young people, fathers matter and their involvement is necessary. Young people look at their fathers as gods with a little g, and they should, because they have so much information, they have so much knowledge, and many times fathers are stifled in what they're able to do based on the environments that minimize who they are. And I just want to encourage those of you that are watching to like and share this post. It may be an uncomfortable conversation, but just like we're having uncomfortable conversations in our nation about how the nation views us, then it is important for us to have an inner conversation about how we view ourselves. And many times, fathers are disciplinarians. Many times, fathers are the one who teaches the importance of survival and making life work. And those things are not glorified. We have, during Father's Day, you will go into the store and you'll see a card for a woman. But on Mother's Day, you don't see a card for a man. And it's a way to minimize the roles of fathers, but there are single fathers out there too. And one doesn't take the place of another, but we need to have courageous conversations and really dig deeper to say, don't allow your bitterness, don't allow your inability to be in relationship. And I heard one of the young people say it, I don't remember who said it, but it's like you should never say anything bad about either one. And on our Mother's Day special, I remember my brother Eric specifically saying, because I asked him, I said, what is the one thing that you value about mommy? And he said the fact that she never said anything negative about our father. I had 3 dads growing up. And in my book, Transforming the Minds of Men, I talk about these 3 dads, and they all had significant roles in my life. And my mother had enough security in herself and enough love for her children that regardless of what didn't work out with these other gentlemen, she was willing to give us a clean slate to build relationship with them. And to this day, I have relationship with all three of my fathers. I have my biological father. I have my father, whom I have his last name, and then I have my father, one of my mom's ex-husbands, who lived in the home with us for a period of time. And at my wedding, all three were present, and people were coming over to me like, "Yo, how'd you get all three of them here?" Because when you have a mother who respects the role of fathers, then you don't ever minimize. And this is a spiritual thing, because many people will praise the Lord, shout, and then they'll be hating on their father. They'll be hating on the father figures. And that's not godly. It's not God's plan. Right. It was never God's design. And society has plucked up the value of the male figure in homes, in communities, and in society as a whole. And we'll dig deeper into that about the 1970s and when industrialization was taken out of the community. We're not going to do that today. But I just want to throw it back to these gentlemen before we go off the air. And just, what are something that you want people to know as we have this conversation, Deacon Grant? What is it that you want them to know about fathers and the role of fathers?
I think what we should, I'm hoping that they'll get from the series, is that the role of a dad is complicated because, statistically, men die quicker than women. And it's because